The escalating conflict between the Fano militia and the Ethiopian federal government has become one of the most pressing and complex issues in Ethiopia today. From the rugged highlands of Gondar to the valleys of Gojam and across East Amhara and North Shewa, fighting has intensified. Each passing month brings new reports of battles, ambushes, and shifting alliances, raising serious questions about the future of the Ethiopian state and the stability of the Horn of Africa. Please like and subscribe the video. Recently, Fano claimed to have killed over 500 government soldiers in a single offensive in Gojam, a staggering figure that shocked many observers. In response, the federal government declared that it had already destroyed 90% of Fano's military strength. But these contradictory narratives only deepen the central question. If Fano is truly on the verge of collapse, how has it managed to survive nearly 2 years of sustained military offensives from one of Africa's largest standing armies? To answer this, we must go back to 2019, when Fano first emerged as a grassroots Amhara self-defense militia. Born out of local resistance and historical grievances, Fano initially operated with strong public backing, and at one point, even enjoyed cooperation with the federal government. During the Tigray War, 2020 to 2022, Fano fighters fought alongside the Ethiopian National Defense Force, ENDF, against the TPLF, earning credibility as a vital paramilitary partner. But the partnership began to unravel following the Pretoria Peace Agreement signed in November 2022, which officially ended the Tigray conflict. The federal government, under mounting international pressure, began a campaign to disarm all regional militias, including Fano. For many in the Amhara region, this move was seen as a betrayal. After all, Fano had helped secure military victories during the war, and now the same government was demanding their disarmament. At the heart of the tension lies a deeper concern: the perceived marginalization of Amhara interests. Fano members and Amhara activists argue that territorial disputes in areas like Wolkite and Raya have been left unresolved, and that the government has failed to defend Amhara civilians in contested regions. As efforts to disarm Fano escalated, so did armed resistance, plunging the region into a new phase of conflict. To make matters more complex, Eritrea, once an ally of Ethiopia during the Tigray War, now finds itself at odds with the Ethiopian government. Some reports suggest that Eritrea may be covertly supporting Fano as retaliation for being excluded from the Pretoria Agreement and sidelined politically. Though not officially confirmed, such reports reflect deep geopolitical rifts that stretch far beyond Ethiopia's borders. But despite its resilience, Fano has struggled to make strategic gains. Why? One of the clearest reasons is the lack of centralized leadership. Fano is not a single organization, but a collection of localized militias across Gondar, Gojam, Eastern Amhara, and North Shewa. Each faction has developed in its own way, shaped by regional dynamics, historical memory, and varying political aims. Without a unified command structure, coordinated large-scale offensives become nearly impossible. As a result, Fano remains effective in hit-and-run guerrilla tactics, but has failed to take and hold major cities or government positions. Another key issue is access to arms. The government has effectively blocked Fano from receiving additional weapons and logistical support, tightening security across borders and air routes. While Fano may have benefited from sporadic external backing, particularly from actors like Eritrea, the group lacks the consistent supply chains necessary to sustain a full-scale insurgency. These constraints have forced the movement into a prolonged war of attrition. Yet perhaps the most critical weakness of all is the absence of a charismatic or strategic leader who can unify the various factions under one political vision. The Amhara people have a long tradition of resistance, and their geographic strongholds in the highlands provide natural defenses. But without a strong leader, the movement remains fractured, reactive, and vulnerable to infiltration, miscommunication, and internal disputes. Meanwhile, the Ethiopian government is signaling a shift in tone. Recently, Field Marshal Birhanu Jula called on Fano fighters to return to peace, offering negotiations instead of further bloodshed. This comes at a critical time, as Ethiopia faces increasing diplomatic tension with Eritrea and potential instability from multiple fronts. The government may be seeking to resolve its internal conflicts before engaging in another regional showdown. What's more, some reports suggest that Fano elements have started quiet communications with the TPLF, their former enemy in the north. At the same time, the TPLF is said to be opening talks with the Eritrean government, hinting at a reshuffling of alliances that could dramatically alter the political landscape of the Horn of Africa. All of this leads to one burning question. Can Fano unify, reorganize, and mount a serious challenge to the federal government? Or will it take the path of negotiation, possibly reintegrating into the political system? There's also the possibility that shifting alliances could isolate Fano entirely, forcing it to either surrender or seek new partnerships, even with former enemies. One thing is clear: Ethiopia's internal and regional dynamics are far from settled. The next phase of this conflict could bring either a fragile peace or further chaos. We will continue to monitor this developing story and bring you timely updates on Ethiopia's most urgent political and military questions. If you care about truth, analysis, and the future of this region, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and turn on the notification bell.